Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 12:18 a.m. on this beautiful fall Friday evening, going into Saturday morning. It is currently 61 degrees outside, and right here is the house that inspired my front porch this summer. I love that house so much. And I have had just a wonderful evening. I got done vlogging today. I can't remember what I did after I got done vlogging. I went home and I filmed a drama video, a Peterisms video, and then Alex and I did a review video together of these skincare products. And what did I do after that? And then Alex was like, do you want to get dressed nice and go on a little like dinner date together? And I was like, yeah, sure. We haven't gone out to dinner together here in Indianapolis. It seems like it's been quite some time. So when I got everything done, he was like, well, what are you hungry for? And I was like, well, I'm kind of hungry for Mexican food. He was like, do you want to go to Verde? Verde is this restaurant right up the street from us, and Alex knows the owners and stuff, and it's delicious. And so there's like one in Fishers, one in Carmel, and then one up here by us. And so I took a shower, did my hair. What do we think? I kind of wish this bang area was a little bit shorter, honestly, but anyway, and then we got dressed, and neither one of us like dressed up that much. I wore khaki shorts and this polo t-shirt that I have on, and then I wore Birkenstock clogs, and that was about it. This chick is like staring me down next to us. And then but it was really fun. We had a really good time. We got there and they had this huge party that they were like celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And so there was like a DJ. Alex knew the DJ, and it was funny because we were sitting there and Alex, like, I felt like he knew like 50 people in the place, and all these people kept on coming up to us, and some of them I knew too, but it was really good. We got to see a lot of people, and it was really loud, and it was really fun. The music was playing, and they were singing at the top of their lungs, and everybody was dancing, and it was just really fun. We got queso to start with guacamole, like on the side, and then, well, we got a side of guacamole, and we got a side of queso to start, and salsa, obviously, with chips. And then Alex got fajitas, and they bring it out on like this stone thing. It's really cool. So it's like still sizzling on the stone when they bring it out. And then I got elote, which is street corn. I don't get it on the cob though. I get it like off the cob, and then they put it in a bowl and they put the stuff on it. And then I also got 3 cheese, corn, and pepper empanadas. I was quite full though halfway through, so because I'd eaten so much queso and chips. And then I had a Dr. Pepper and a water, and Alex had 2 spicy margaritas, and then I had a cup of coffee at the end too. It was fun. We sat there forever. We sat there for like 3.5 hours. It was really fun, and saw all kinds of people that we know and all kinds of people that he knows, and he was introducing me to a bunch of people, and yeah, it was really, really fun. So it was a good date night. And what else? I couldn't believe it was so packed when we got there. We had to wait a half an hour for a table, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but in Indianapolis it's kind of a big deal because usually you don't have to wait that long for a table. His mom would have loved it tonight. There was like this group of like 30 women right outside the window where we were, because like the party was on the patio. And they had a bunch of food, and they had like a bar out there, and like the DJ, and then they had like a mariachi band that came and played. And Alex knew like every song. And so it was like a lot of like old music. And it was so funny because this one part, like I really like Selena, And there was this one part, and like the DJ came over and said hi to us because Alex knows him from like going out to clubs and stuff. And I think he spends a lot of like the salsa nights and the Latino nights downtown. And so he spun this song, but like it mixed it into something else. And I said, oh my God, that would have been a perfect, like if he had spun that into Selena's Como de Flor, that would have been like perfect. And so Alex texted him and he was like, Peter wants to hear Como de Flor. And so then he played it. It was really fun. Yeah, we had a good time. It was a very romantic day too. It was just, the restaurant's like dark lit, and I love restaurants that have a lot of atmosphere. And this restaurant has a lot of atmosphere, so it was fun. We had a really good time, and then we came home, and Alex was like, do you want to watch this movie? But tomorrow night we are going over to Sarah's house to watch scary movies. I think we're gonna watch that movie Old, and I didn't realize it was out yet, but apparently she said it's out. So we're gonna watch that movie tomorrow night, and I have been wanting to watch Malignant. We might watch that tomorrow night too. So I was like, let's just save it for tomorrow night. I don't want to, I'm not really in the mood to watch a movie tonight and tomorrow night. And I was like, well, I also want to go vlog because I didn't vlog last night, and I want to finish that Charlaine Harris book and hopefully start the second one, because I'd like to finish the second one this weekend as well, and then I would be at 48 books. And then starting on Monday, I would have 8 books a month, like 8 in October. I mean, I know it's already October, but 8 in October, 8 in November, and 8 in December to finish, to hit my goal. So I made a cup of green tea with honey. I have it right here. Made it in my Keurig. And that was like right when we got home from dinner. I was like looking at stuff on the computer and all that kind of stuff, and bills and whatever. And so, and talking to the dogs in bed. So then by the time that I left, I was like, I think I want a Diet Coke. So I don't know which one I want first. I'll probably go back and forth between the green tea and the Diet Coke. I literally, I don't know if you can see this, but I just made, can you see this, the steam? I can see it, but I don't know if you can see it or not. I just made this green tea and there was like steam coming off of it. It's actually pretty good green tea, even though it's made in the Keurig. I don't know why it wouldn't be. See, I filled my gas tank up because it was down. I got it at Costco for $2.94 or whatever, and now gas is going back up again. I can't believe gas was down for like one day and now it's going back up. This tea is so good. Oh, I got my porch complete. Oh, that's what I did when I was done. Did I finish it right after I went to the farmer's market, or right before I went to the farmer's market? I can't remember my vlog. I think I finished it after I went to the farmer's market. So I put all the stuff on the front porch. I kind of at first was like, there was too much stuff going on this front porch. And I put the blanket that I got from Costco out there. Well, if you guys want to see what it looks like, you can go over either to my Instagram where I posted it, or my Instagram story, or, because I'm trying to be like more active on my Instagram story, you know? Or I posted an entire video unveiling our fall front porch on my Peter Does Stuff channel. People are so kind. Like, the comments that I get over there are so nice. Just like really sweet. And I always think like this is like the most boring video probably for people. Then people are like, I love this channel, and it's like seeing a different side of you. It's so calm and relaxing. And I'm like, this is just like me like hanging out and doing stuff that I do every day. So that was really fun. The patio looks really nice. And then, like, I think I'm going to start, like, in the evening when I turn on the carriage lights. Like, while we're there, I'm going to turn on the little candle that's inside of the lamp. Like, I don't always do that. And so today, I was like, I flipped it on, because it's, like, one of those battery-operated candles. And it really made the front porch look homey. And so I was like, and it was so funny because even Alex was like, it looks so cozy out here, because he knows I want to hear that, of course, because you know, cozy mysteries. So he was like, no, but it really does. It looks really cozy out here. So I'm very happy about my mums and my pumpkins and everything else. I'll probably rearrange it a little bit, because I'm not sure I'm completely, like, I don't love, like, Alex was even standing there, and he was like, well, I wish you would have put this over here, and we have 2 stands in the garage, and I'm like, well, the stands are larger stands, so if I put them up, then the mums are, like, side by side, and I wanted them kind of to go down, you know? But anyway, it makes me very happy to look at. I just kind of stood out there tonight and looked at it, and then I, like, sat in the chair, and it makes me happy. So anyway, yeah. It was a good day. And then Alex tomorrow has, for his friend that we're going to the couple shower for, that's like in like 2 weeks, I think. It's either next weekend or the week after that we're going to this couple shower. Alex has, like, they're just doing like a friend shower tomorrow. The couple shower isn't large. It's like just a few couples. And so the shower tomorrow, I think her sister is throwing for her. So Alex is going to go to that, and he thinks it's at like 5 in the afternoon, which I think is kind of a weird time to have a shower, don't you? I mean, that like kind of cuts into people's Saturday night, but showers are usually at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon on a weekend. I think 5 is a weird time to have a shower, but anyway. Maybe it's because like kids and stuff, because I know that her sister has kids, and I think her oldest daughter might be involved in like sports and stuff, so maybe she can't do it any earlier. So that's tomorrow night, and then we're gonna go over to Sarah's and watch movies after that. And then Sunday, he has like literally no plans this weekend. I thought something would come up, so well, he has that, but and then Sunday we're gonna probably go to brunch. We might try somewhere different this week. Probably not though. And then is White Castle closed at 12 now? All the time? And then Sunday we have brunch, and then that's it. And then start the week over. So, yeah, I'm excited for Halloween. I was sitting there and I was doing stuff on the computer, and like bills and stuff. And so I was told Alex, I said, I'm gonna watch a movie while I'm doing this, have it on in the background. So I was watching Hocus Pocus. And do you know what my husband said to me? He goes, what are you gonna watch? And I said, I'm gonna watch, he was upstairs, we were talking like, you know, from upstairs and downstairs. And I said, I'm gonna watch Hocus Pocus. And he goes, oh, okay. And I said, have you ever seen it? When I was sure that the answer would be a resounding, of course I've seen Hocus Pocus. And do you know that my husband told me that he has never seen Hocus Pocus? I said, how have you never seen Hocus Pocus? I said, people have been begging for a sequel to this movie for years. And he's like, well, maybe I've seen it. I go, oh, no. I go, there is no maybe I saw it. I said, you would know if you had seen Hocus Pocus. He was like, yeah, I don't think I've seen it. So I think one night I'm going to make Alex, well, I won't make him, but if he wants to, we'll watch Hocus Pocus and To Kill a Mockingbird. Although, you know what is so funny? We were watching American Horror Story the other night, and the second season, or not the second season, it's called Double Feature, because halfway through the season it like switches stories. And the first episode of the second part, what is this right here? I think this is like a food truck or something. There's always people standing around out there, and it's in this auto parts driveway, but it says open right now. I wonder if that's a food truck. So I feel like I've had an eyelash stuck in my eye for like 3 days too. Does that ever drive you crazy? I know it's not my contacts. I put new contacts in, so it's like I feel like it's like just this eye is driving me nuts. But anyway, so I totally just lost my train of thought. Gosh, this is where I wish I could just go and speed it back really quick. Food truck, eyelash, To Kill a Mockingbird, Hocus Pocus. I was talking about something to do with Alex. I can't believe I literally just lost my train of thought. Alex tonight said he was like, I swore I told you something like 3 different times, and I was like, I don't remember you telling me that. And he was like, do you think we need to get your memory checked? I mean, he was like real serious about it. And I was like, no, I said, I just don't remember you telling me. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I am kind of forgetting things. But I just think it's kind of like normal forgetting things, you know? But I did just literally, I was talking about something and then I completely lost my train of thought. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh well. Where am I at on time? You know what? I'm going to pull in here and stop it and rewind it because I want to see what I was going to say, because this is going to drive me crazy if I don't find out. I put a spell on you. Okay, I'll be right back. I can't believe I stopped it and restarted it for this. This is so stupid. Anyway, we were watching American Horror Story the other night. That's what I was talking about. It's so inconsequential. That's probably why I forgot what I was saying. We were watching American Horror Story the other night. And so it's a double feature. The first part of the season is about one thing, and halfway through the season it switches. I thought they were gonna like bring the two together at the end, but I don't think that they're gonna do that. I don't think Ryan Murphy's gonna do that because they're two completely different stories. Not to mention that like Sarah Paulson and some of the other people, like they play two parts. They play like one part at the beginning and one part at the second part of the show. So I just, well, yeah, there's no way they could do that. So I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a way that they could do it, I'm sure, but I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're just two completely different stories. So it starts, and it's in black and white, right? Because it's shot very vintage. And Alex goes, like, immediately, he goes, oh, is this gonna be in black and white? And I go, yeah, babe, it's supposed to be like a period piece. Like, you know, like they're shooting it like it was, you know, at that time. He goes, oh. So then I said, well, maybe the whole thing won't be, you know, in black and white. I don't mind. I love to watch old black and white movies and stuff, you know. And I can remember when we first started dating, I like asked him if he wanted to watch like old movies or something like that. And do you remember that movie? He said, okay, so I was talking about like Alfred Hitchcock, black and white, Arsenic and Old Lace. I know that's not Alfred Hitchcock, but those kind of movies, you know. The Thin Man series, the woman, or the Man Who Knew Too Much, Alfred Hitchcock, Rear Window, all that. And then the Thin Man series, it's not Alfred Hitchcock, you know, Arsenic and Old Lace, which is not, you know, Alfred Hitchcock, sorry, wrong number. All of those old great mysteries, you know. And so one night I was like, because I love those, I was like, do you want to watch an old movie? And he was like, I mean, we can. And I can't remember what I put in. And he goes, oh, I thought you meant like, and he said, do you remember that movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. was in it? And I think it was Freddie Prinze Jr. And he is like popular, and the girl's the artist, and they did a remake of this a couple years ago. I think it's called She's All That or something like that. But he invites her to go to prom, and she does like a complete makeover. Do you remember that movie? It was such a great movie. But anyway, back in the day, I watched all those corny movies. He thought like, because I told him what the movie was about, and he thought that was, I don't even remember what movie I was going to play for him. And I was like, you consider that an old movie? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I was like a kid when that movie came out. He was like, I was really little. I was like, oh my God, like, that's not what I was talking about. And then another time, I said something, we were talking, oh, Bring It On. He goes, oh, that's an old movie. He's like, that's like a really old movie. See, that doesn't seem old to me. I mean, I know it is now, but like, it doesn't seem old to me in comparison to what I consider old movies, you know, which were old by the time that I was even born. I mean, you know. I will say this, if you're watching American Horror Story, and I'm not gonna like ruin it for anybody with saying this, but there are like elements of the first part that very much remind me of Rosemary's Baby. Which there was like a period where, so my mom read that book, she said, when she was pregnant with me, at least, or she saw the movie. I think she said she read the book that summer that she was pregnant with me. And so I've always kind of had fascination with that movie and that book. I think that it's by Ira Levine, I think, wrote that book. But I think I tried to read it, or I read it, and I've seen the movie several times. And the movie to this day, like the music and stuff, just really is like scary to me. And there were parts of American Horror Story that really echoed Rosemary's Baby to me. Do you guys remember in Rosemary's Baby where she walks through? Maybe I'll make that tomorrow the horror movie of the day for the Boogeman Besties. Do you remember, like, when she goes through the closet and she finds them on the other side and the baby's like, and she looks in the cradle and she screams and all that kind of stuff? I always thought that movie was so scary, that part. You know, and what's so funny about it is I never thought, like, so many people think The Exorcist is so scary. I never thought The Exorcist was scary. I didn't think it was scary when I was a kid. I didn't think it was scary. A couple years ago, well, I say a couple years ago, it's been like 10 years now, but Melissa and I and Jason and Alex and I, Melissa and Jason, went to go see Exorcist on Halloween, like Halloween night. And like after passing candy out and stuff, this movie theater up by us, the Castleton, it's called Keystone Arts Theater. They show like movies on Halloween at midnight. Another time we went to the IMAX in like Noblesville, and we watched Halloween, the original Halloween, on Halloween night. I feel like, or no, we went to Keystone Arts for that too. I think one year we took Alex and Jason, and then the next year Melissa and I went by ourselves. But one year, the four of us went to go see The Exorcist on Halloween. I feel like it was on Halloween. And Melissa and I both got that Popcornopulous, because we love that so much. And then Alex and, so they have a bar at this restaurant, this bar at this movie theater called the Keystone Arts Theater. It's like they play artsy movies, you know, there and stuff like that. They play like foreign films and independent films and stuff. So they do like fun stuff, and they have like a nice bar with food and stuff like that that you can bring into the theater. So Alex and Jason got like a bucket of beer. It was like 6 or 8 beers or something like that. I think it was like 6 beers. So there's Melissa and I on one end, and Alex and Jason on the other end. Okay, they're sharing these beers, and Alex and Melissa and I are, and they're so tired, they didn't want to go anyway. And so Melissa and I are on the other end, and we're just like this, watching Halloween, watching The Exorcist for like the 15th time, you know? And we're just like having so much fun, like kids in this movie theater. And we look over, and Jason and Alex are both like heads back, completely asleep. Like they were so bored. Didn't drink their beer, could care less. They had like 1 beer each, and they were so bored of that movie, they were asleep. And Alex had never seen it, and I don't think Jason had either. And I was like, I cannot believe that you guys were sleeping through The Exorcist. But they did. We used to always go see horror movies together. I remember one night we went out to dinner, and I had driven, and I think we went to Basso's Pizza, and we were like trying to figure out, and it was late, but it wasn't like, it was like 10 or something like that. It was like after 10, but not 10:30 yet. And so we were trying to find a movie that was like a scary movie, but that like the last showing hadn't shown yet of the night, right? So we ended up going to see that movie Unfriended or Defriended or whatever it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where they're all on the computer screens and they get killed one at a time. It's so bad, you guys. It's one of the worst horror movies ever. And again, our husbands fell asleep during it. And that was Jason's idea to go to that movie that time, I remember. Oh my gosh, that was fun though. We've always had fun. And then one night, Melissa and I, we were at Melissa and Jason's house, and Melissa had made like, I think there was like a chili dinner night or something, but it was just the 4 of us. And Melissa and I wanted to watch a scary movie. Now Jason doesn't, like, he likes scary movies as long as they're not super scary and super gory and bloody and stuff. So he was like, okay. And we picked this one. I would love to know if somebody knows what this movie is, because to this day, we don't know what this movie is. It's about this girl, and it's like pretty current. I would say it's in probably the last 5 or 6 years. I feel like it happened around in the last, let's say, 5 to 8 years. And it's about this girl, and she's babysitting in this house. And I remember the basement of the house. The back of the house backs up to like another house, and the basement of the, so like the house is on like the main level, like here, like over here, like this is like the level 1, and then the basement is like, it's not underground, it like goes out because like the house is on like a hill. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, because at one point she runs out of the house through the basement, I think, or the killer comes in through that way or something. I feel like the movie is called something like the girl and the something, or I don't know, but it's about this girl, and I feel like she's babysitting, and her boyfriend comes over or something. We thought it was going to be like one of those funny kind of horror movies, but it ended up being like super scary. And Jason ended up going to bed. Like he said, I'm going to go upstairs and change into comfortable clothes, and he never came back down. And Melissa went and checked, and he was asleep because he said it was too scary. And then Alex fell asleep on the floor with the dogs. And it was Melissa and I watching this movie, which ended up being really dumb. It actually wasn't that scary. This coffee, or this tea is still so hot. I was gonna bring my this is a Starbucks mug that I bought. It says Starbucks on it somewhere. I was gonna bring my swig cup. Here, it says Starbucks right here. I think that I bought this last Christmas. It's a really nice, do you see the steam coming off my tea? Look at that. How hot it still is. This is like a perfect cup to take to meetings. Because I can fill it with hot coffee when I'm there, and I can take some coffee with me on the way. Ask me how many meetings I've taken this to, not many. But I'm gonna start doing that. That's something I'm gonna start doing. So, it's hot. It's good though. I need to leave it open so it airs out. What was I gonna say? No, I totally forgot again. Jason and Melissa. Yeah, that movie was corny though. We've seen a lot of scary movies with them. And of course, Melissa and I love the Roseanne Halloweens from back in the day. We can like quote every line. So weird. It totally does not feel like a Friday night at all. You know what was so crazy was, so we were sitting out in front of the restaurant, and it's like in this strip mall that's like underneath apartments, and they're really nice apartments. It's the Ironworks apartments. And then across the street, but like on the same side of the road, is where Alex and I stayed at the Ironworks Hotel. And there's like all these great like breakfast places over there. There's like Yoke, and there's like another one on the other side. And there's this, Alex, there's a brand new, what do you call it? Poke Bowl restaurant there. Poke Bowl. Everybody calls it Poke, but like, or Poke Bowl. But I was told at the restaurant that it's Poke. So anyway, I don't know. I guess it's Poke-y. But anyway, there was one of those restaurants out there. Ruth Chris is right there. Provision, which is this really nice like steak. Well, it's not really a steakhouse, but it's just really nice. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a steakhouse restaurant on the other side, on the connected to the hotel. There's a really neat bar in Provision, and then there's a breakfast place over there too. Why can't I think of what it's called? Oh, Blue Sushi is over there too, which we love. And it's very much the vibe of like a New York hotel or New York restaurant. It's really, really cool upscale sushi restaurant. It's like dark inside, and they play like chill loungy music. And they have tons and tons of vegetarian options on the menu. I love that place. We haven't been there for a while. I have to be like craving sushi. And I wasn't really like haven't been craving sushi recently. And so tonight, like they told us, they said it's going to be like a half an hour wait. And we're like, okay. I mean, we kind of knew that it was going to be, I mean, even though like Indianapolis, it's just like hit or miss. You don't know. But I said to Alex before we left, I said, do you think it'll be busy? And he was like, oh no, not at all. I mean, we had no idea we were walking to this party thing there, right? I think that if that party hadn't been going on, I think they would have been able to seat us quickly. But anyway, we had to wait a half an hour. So we were sitting out front. Alex was like, do you want to sit inside or outside? I said, let's sit outside. And these girls have been sitting on this bench in front of like the Poke restaurant. And like when they got up and went inside, we like sat down out there. And other than the people like coming in and out of Ruth Chris and the people coming in and out of like the Verde, it was like dead out there. And the parking lot was packed. There's like 3 really nice restaurants in that section. There's Verde, which is right on the corner, and then Ruth Chris, which is like right in the middle, and then Sangiove's, which is an Italian restaurant that we love. My aunt and uncle loved Sangiove's. It used to be right by us, and there was a restaurant in Broad Ripple. It actually used to be right underneath my office, and it was called Ambrosia, and Ambrosia moved, and that was really my aunt and uncle's favorite Italian restaurant. It was like my aunt loved that restaurant. And then they had a bar connected to it, which was really cool, that was called the Bluefin, and that all closed down. Now it's a cheeseburger place called 317 Burger, I think. And Ambrosia is now, I think, off of College somewhere. But I believe, I may be incorrect about this, but I believe that the people that own Ambrosia are the same, it's like this Italian family, are the same people that own Sangiove's. And it's a really good restaurant. There was this couple that was like my aunt and uncle's best friends that every once in a while we go out to dinner with them. We haven't gone in a while. And Alex texts her quite a bit, I think, still. And like we always go to, well, the last time we went out to dinner with them, Caroline went too. I think David might have gone, I'm not sure. Maybe just Caroline, I don't know. But we went to Sangiove's by us because they liked that restaurant too. And they live real close to us. So yeah, it was kind of like dead in that area. And I was like, it's so interesting because, I mean, people would walk out of like, I think a lot of people that stay at that hotel go over to Ruth Chris like we did. So I don't know, maybe people stay there for like, you know, anniversaries, and I was gonna say honeymoons, but anniversaries and stuff. And then like we did on Valentine's Day, walk over to Ruth Chris, have dinner, and then walk back. Because there seemed to be quite a few couples like that were walking back over there. Or maybe they were going over there to have a drink because it was still early, you know, it was like 8:39. We got seated right at 9 o'clock. She told us it would be 9 o'clock, and I mean like on the dot. They texted Alex, which that was impressive, right? So, but it seemed like there were a lot of couples, not a lot, but it seemed like people that were coming out of Ruth Chris were going over that way, and people that were coming out of Verde were just leaving into the parking lot. But the parking lot was packed when we got there. So I'm pretty much caught up on my TV shows. I'm very excited because after 2 years or something of having Hulu and dealing with all the ads, I finally figured out how to change it so that we don't have ads anymore. It was just like a couple dollars more too, and I was like, okay, this is totally worth it because I've been watching the hell out of Hulu lately. And but it only took me like 2 years to complain about it and not do anything about it. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't believe it took me 2 seconds literally to do that. Literally 2 seconds to do it. So I want to catch up on The Last Man. Oh, I have an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK to watch this weekend as well. So The Last Man, RuPaul's Drag Race UK. I'm caught up on Only Murders in the Building. I have to watch Grace and Frankie. And I think those are my only current shows that I'm watching that I'm not caught up on. Alex and I are watching, I got Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I have half of an episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to watch. I am so tired, honestly, of this whole season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills being dedicated to Erica Jane. I'm so tired of it. And she has no grasp whatsoever of what her husband put these poor people through. Like, none whatsoever. And, like, it's so interesting because now it's like I should say this for the video that Tanya and I are going to do, but now it's like she makes these comments that, like, the producers, like, show how the other people receive the comment, but they will never challenge her. They're always like, oh yeah, like some of these comments that she makes, like she's like, my husband she says something like, because now he has to be like in this home and somebody's got to take care of him or whatever, and because his brother doesn't want him in a nursing home, and she's like, he's done so many great things for people that people can step up and take care of him, and they all just kind of look at her and they're like, he's done all these great things. And then they even, like, confessional goes to Dorit, and Dorit's like, he's done all these great things, but yeah, he's also done a lot of really horrible things too. But then they flash back, and they're all like, oh yeah, sure, you know? And I'm like, why are they all so afraid of Erika Jayne? Like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't understand it, you know? And her story keeps on changing, and it's just, I don't know. I'm confused by it. But I'll share my feelings when Tanya and I do our video together. Not only that, but I feel like it's kind of salt on the wound, because everybody in the world knows what she's going through. She's now talking about it in every episode. I mean, every episode is dedicated to Erika Jayne. It's either Erika Jayne didn't show up for this. God, there are literally like 20 plus cars at McDonald's right now. It's either Erika Jayne didn't show up to something that we're doing because she's too upset today, or Erika, like, as soon as she's hanging out with somebody, she's like, you know, I'm just really going through a hard time. Every day is really tough. And I'm like, I'm so sorry your life is so horrible. What about all those people whose money got stolen? Oh, and by the way, as you're showing up to stuff in full designer clothes from head to tail, you know, or head to tail, full designer clothes from head to toe, and you've got your glam squad with you on vacation. She brought people, a hairstylist and a makeup person with her while she goes to stay in this hotel for the weekend with all the girls, okay? Then she sits there and has the nerve to say to Kyle that she's completely broke, that she doesn't have a cent to her name. And I'm like, how are you paying these people then to do your hair and makeup? Maybe it's time to learn how to do your own hair and makeup, you know? And she shows up to this party that Dorit throws for her wedding dresses, which those wedding dresses of Dorit's were beautiful. But she shows up and she's got this unique looking hair extension thing and this outfit, and it's just like all these clothes. And I'm like, girl, like, you are really spitting in the face of the people that have been hurt by your husband, you know? I don't know. I just, like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused by it. I know you guys are probably like, Peter, we could care less. I know. I don't know why I care. Because we consume this pop culture stuff and then we want to have opinions about it, you know? Tony and I talk about this stuff quite a bit. We drive around. Once I get a handle on this podcast thing, and I figure out how to do this podcast thing, if Tanya and I keep on doing, because that's what it is right now, me trying to figure out this podcast stuff, and Melissa and I are kind of having a hard time, like, meeting up to get stuff done, because she's super busy, and I'm super busy, and so we've got to, like, just, like, sit down and be like, okay, this is the day that we're going to start, this is how we're going to do it, and this is what we're going to do, right? Because we've been doing a lot of that, but it's a lot over the phone, and we just need to sit down and dedicate a night to, like, wrapping it all up, like, everything, you know? But, like, if I figure it out, maybe Tanya Jean and I will start a podcast talking about the Real Housewives. I don't know that I don't know that I care enough or I know enough. Tanya knows so much about that stuff. Did you guys hear that Portia Williams is not coming back to Atlanta? I don't even know that I'll continue to watch Atlanta. Like, Phaedra was extremely problematic, but she was entertaining. Nene, I understand people thought she was problematic too. I liked Nene, but Nene left. And now Portia's leaving. Kenya bores me to death. I think she's pretty, and I feel bad for her circumstances of that divorce that she's going through. But I don't really, she's just okay to me. I don't, like, have any strong feelings about her. I love Cynthia, but Cynthia just always plays, like, middle of the road, you know? And then, who else is on it? Well, Marlo, she's like one of my favorites, but they'll never make her a Real Housewife. Marlo is my favorite, I should say. Who else is on there? Candy. Okay, but Candy's always got 9 million things going on anyway. And without Portia, and they're kind of stirring some of that stuff up, the rest of them aren't going to have the same issues. And some of those new girls that are on there, I can't remember what their names are now. But I'm not super interested in them. Oh, who's the one? Why can't I think of her name? The one friend that's like an actress and her husband is like super, super good looking. I can't think of her name. She's somebody's friend. She came as like, I feel like she's Portia's friend, but she's not Portia's friend. She's not Kenya's friend. She's not Candy's friend. I can't remember who she's friends with. She was the one that was cooking in the kitchen, remember? When Portia was like messing it up when they were on that vacation in North Carolina. She has long braids. She's gorgeous. I can't remember what her name is. She's got little kids. She's an actress. Somebody made fun of her for saying something, and she's like legit, like big deal actress, like Tyler Perry movie leads and things like that. I can't remember what her name is. I like her, but see, I don't think they'll make her a housewife either. It's very strange how they choose who they make housewives. I don't know, maybe they've offered it to Marlo and she said no, but I mean, Marlo doesn't really, she doesn't really hit the criteria to be a housewife. Portia leaving, and I know a lot of people don't like Portia, but Portia adds a lot to that show, which I don't understand because Portia has her own show too, where they talk about stuff. And so if Portia's not on that show, like, will she continue to do that show, or is she just like done doing reality TV? I know a lot of people won't agree with this, but I feel like Portia's really grown up the last couple of years. That's just my 2 cents about it. But anyway, that's about me and the Real Housewives. I haven't watched Salt Lake City yet enough to know what's going on, although Tanya did say Meredith went crazy, or she went off this week about something that happened. She was like, oh, Meredith went off. I like Meredith and I like Lisa. I kind of really like all of them on Salt Lake City, and I wish that Jen Shaw hadn't ended up being so problematic with all this stuff that's come out, because I mean, she's not my favorite by any means, but I have a soft spot for Jen Shaw, especially when she starts talking about like her dad and all that kind of stuff. And then there was a scene in the last episode, where it was like her mom and her aunt came to visit, and you got to see a completely different side of her. And I feel like all of that exterior is a lot of show because she's super, super insecure, you know? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens this season. They all point at each other a lot in their faces. I don't do well with that. You know, you point in my face one time and you're out of my life. I'm just not really into all of that pointing. I'm like, excuse me, you need to get your finger out of my face. Like, I'm not about all that. You know, pointing in people's faces, throwing drinks down at your feet and stuff. I'd be like, we are grown adults. You do not act that way. I don't care how upset you are with me or with the situation. You're not going to point your finger in my face like this and dismiss me and be patronizing. I don't deal with that stuff very well, you know? I may make jokes about stuff, you know, in like my other channels and whatever, and be like, haha and whatever, but like, I'm very serious about that stuff. And I can't even remember the last time somebody even had the nerve to point their finger up in my face or throw a drink at my feet or something. I'd be like, you are out of my life for good. Like, we don't need to be having no discussions on this, you know, reunion show, because you do not exist to me. Like, I don't deal with people that are patronizing and condescending to me in that way. And that pettiness of all that, I can't stand that stuff at all. I think it's so disrespectful when people do that. I think you're grown adults, have a conversation with somebody, and I swear to God, I just thought I swear to God, I swear, I thought that I was sitting here talking to Tanya Jean. I just went on and on about a friend of ours. I was like, and you know that so-and-so, and blah, 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 whatever, and she thinks this, and she thinks that, and I was like, oh my God, and then all of a sudden I was just like, I like said her name, her first and last name, like 5 times. So anyway, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'll talk about it on my video with Tanya Jean. So, that's that. I've got that to catch up on too. But I also want to watch like scary movies. It's kind of like why I watched Hocus Pocus tonight. I was like, 31 days until Halloween. Like, I really want to watch scary movies and Halloween movies. Because, you know, usually what happens is, it's like 4 or 5 days go by, and then like it hits me, and I'm like, oh, it's Halloween this month. And then it's like, by the time it hits me, and then I'm like 3 days later to where I'm like, oh, well, like, what things do I want to do that are Halloween-y, or what things do I want to, you know, plan? And then it's already like the 10th of October, and I'm like, Halloween's in like 2 weeks, you know, like, it doesn't really hit me until then. And I'm like, okay, I need to start doing like watching the Halloween movies and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, decorating the front porch, which is why I decorated the front porch, got it done today, because I want to be able to enjoy it for the whole month of October, plus that stuff can go out there through November, you know, cornucopia, mums, and all that kind of stuff for Thanksgiving. And, but I want to watch the scary movies, I want to listen to the books, I want to read the Halloween books, you know, and I really want to enjoy this season, so... And not let the days go by before, you know, I know it, then it's Halloween, and I'm like, oh my God, I came and went so quickly. That's like one thing with like my vlog, is that it really allows me to stay present. Because I really think about like the things I did today, you know, and I'll share with you guys and give you kind of like a press conference of, well, I did this, and I did that, and I did this, right? And so it's like, really kind of like a little bit of a, you know, press conference of like my life. And, but it keeps me present in like what things like I have been doing recently and today, right? And so, and then when I get done vlogging and I listen to my audiobook for a little bit, you know, it's like, then I'm like focused in that audiobook. Instead of, so instead of constantly thinking about what I'm going to do, you know, a week or two from now, even if I talk about that in my vlog, right? Like, I get done and I'm kind of like, okay, that was like in today. It's really helped me stay in today. I think especially since, you know, like before I vlogged, and this is kind of to me like a living diary on a daily basis, but, you know, like a video. Like, I would spend the evening before I went to bed thinking about, like, planning for the days ahead, the weeks ahead, and like, okay, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this, and I still do that. But before I go vlog, I make my list for the next day. Typically, I do this. I mean, I would say most days I do this. I make my list for the next day, like, before I go to bed, if I'm gonna go take a nap, and then go vlog, or before I go vlog, like right now I did, like, as Alex is going to bed. That's, like, the last thing I typically do. You know, around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, is that I make my list for the next day. And when that list is made, I like all the things I didn't get done from today, I put on that list for tomorrow. And then when that list is made, now I don't usually print it out till the next day. I like type it up on my pages. I kind of have like a template that I keep now. And then I type it up on my pages, and I have, in case I want to add anything to it tomorrow. And then that's the first thing I do, you know, like when I'm sitting down getting stuff done. But, once I have that typed up and I close my computer out, I'm done for the day on that stuff. Then it's time for Peter to do all the fun stuff. And that's the vlog, and that's listening to audiobooks, you know, and sitting on the front porch, reading, talking on the phone, that kind of stuff. You know, seeing Tanya Jean for a fountain pop. It's like, okay, all of that other stuff, it's done for the day, you know? And that's also really helped me to stay present. And I did that back in the day, you know, when I worked in treatment, but then I got out of that for a long time. Like, I mean, there were years that I went off and on doing, like, I've always kept some kind of list, right? But I think since I've been talking about it on here, I started writing again on a legal pad about a year ago. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I would keep a list every day on like Post-it notes and little notes like of what I needed to do. But like, I think it was like a year and a half ago. I can't remember. I think it was Frank, actually. I was talking about legal pads in a video, I think a vlog, and he sent me a bunch of legal pads because I love the legal pads. I used to use them back in the day when I worked in treatment. That was how I kept my notes and stuff. So for a long time, I still have them right next to my computer. I have 2 legal pads, one for things that are projects like cleaning up around the house projects and things like that. And then the one on top is my lists for the day. But I don't write them down on I need to get a clipboard is what I need to do. Just a basic wooden or clear clipboard. I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. Because that's what I used to do, is I used to put the legal pad inside of that. When I was like working in treatment, and then later I had one of those too. I think I might have one in my office. Maybe I need to look. Man, I haven't been in my office in forever. I should go in there. I think we're gonna set up our podcast studio at the office, and that's what we're gonna use it for. But I need to go in there and see if I have like a clipboard or something. I think there's one in there somewhere. I have like a big box of like all of these like recovery pamphlets and stuff that people have given to me through the years, and 4-step guides and all kinds of stuff. So, because I used to go to my office and do like step work, and I put a movie on late at night. But, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like now, though, what I do is, like, I type up the list. And typing up the list, I don't know why, but it has helped me so much. And I know people are like, well, why don't you just keep it on your phone? For me to see it on a piece of paper and be able to physically cross things out with like sometimes I use a highlighter, sometimes you use a Sharpie. I need to actually, I can't believe I get to say this. Oh, I think I have an entire thing of them that I never, or did I bring those out already? I think they're in the basement. I think I bought this whole thing of Sharpies and I never brought them out, but my Sharpies are dead. I had a pink one and I had a blue one, and they're both completely out, so I need new Sharpies, which makes me happy because then I get to pick new colors. But anyway, that's something I need to do. I don't need new pens. The last couple times that I went with Tanya, I think, well, this summer, I bought these pens that I love. They're for journaling. They're like journaling pens. They're like fine tip journaling pens, but I love them for making lists and writing on Post-it notes and stuff like that. So anyway, I have enough pens, but I do need some Sharpies. We have like this bowl of Sharpies in the kitchen, but they're all completely dead, I think. I love Sharpies, black pens, and Post-it notes. And do you know what is so funny is that back in the day, the only kind of pen that I would use was a Sharpie pen, like felt like the, you know what I'm talking about, not felt, is it a felt tip pen, I think? And my supervisor would always be like, can you not use that pen because it bleeds through to the other side? But I loved that pen so much, and I forgot all the time that it bled through to the other side. And she'd be like, can you not use that pen because it bleeds through to the other side when you're writing on stuff? And I'm like, okay. But do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, I love those pens. I might have to start using those again, because it doesn't really matter if it bleeds through on a Post-it note, you know what I mean? So anyway, but I've just always loved pens and Post-it notes and organization. I was thinking about this the other day, you know, it's like Alex and I have talked a lot about like, when I clean the basement out, not if, but when I clean the basement out, like having like a little office area down there, right? Where I could do stuff. And the thing is, like, I don't know that I would want to be shut down in there, you know? It's like, I mean, one of the things is like when I'm upstairs, I like step outside on the front porch and I take the dogs out back, and you know, it's like I can see the sunshine, I can see the trees. Like if I was filming in my basement for like 4 hours straight, it's like I don't know that I would like come up from that, but I would love to have like a little desk area down there where I could have like all my Post-it notes and I could like upload from down there and stuff, and you know, whatnot. I don't know if like I have to go down there and test our Wi-Fi out. I don't know why our Wi-Fi would be any different in the basement than it is, but I don't know that I've ever like really used the Wi-Fi in the basement. So I don't know if it's like better or worse down there. But when we redo the living room area, there are some things that we're going to do differently too. And where the dining room table is now, we're going to make that into like a little office area. And then we're going to like where behind the dining room table, between there and the fireplace, we're going to have like a big L-shaped couch. like going up against the wall, and it's gonna come out so it's looking at the fireplace, and then we're gonna have the TV put over the fireplace. It's like one of the things that we want to do. And so then the area by where I film now in that chair, we already found like how we want the furniture to look, and it's like this very kind of like 50s leather and chrome looking stuff, like brown leather and chrome and wrought iron. It's very cool, like kind of like a New York brownstone or New York warehouse apartment kind of thing, but like the furniture is very cool. It's like this old teak wood, and there's several different brands that do this furniture with like the big like, you know, I'm talking about like nails and stuff in it. And so then in that area over there, I want to have an area to have a lot of indoor plants. So we want to have kind of like this ladder, kind of like see-through bookshelf thing that we could have a lot of plants on right by the door, sliding glass door. And then we're going to have another area over there with like a little, not sectional, but like couch and 2 chairs and a table and stuff, so that whole living room area we can have like entertain and people can sit there and stuff like that. And then behind where the sectional will be, that's where we're gonna put like a desk up against that wall where the buffet table is, and then like bookshelves on where the armoire is, or not the armoire, the secretary desk. And then we're gonna get rid of the secretary desk. I think Caroline might want it, and my dad said that if I don't want it anymore, because he was the one that originally picked out the secretary desk, he's like, if you don't want it, I'll take it. So, but Alex was like, did you guys remember I had this conversation? He was like, you'll never get rid of that secretary desk. And then one day I was just like, why am I holding on to this secretary desk? Like, it literally means nothing to me, right? So, so yeah, that's our plan for when we get all that stuff done. We'd like to be able to knock out that wall between the kitchen and there, but we think it's a structural wall. So we're not sure that we can do that, but we have a friend of ours that's a contractor that we're gonna have come and look at it. He's kind of expensive, so we don't know if we can use him, but he said that he would come out there anyway and kind of give us an idea of what he thought we could do and not do. So I'm not sure that we can knock out that wall. There's not really anything like we need to do to the bedroom as far as redoing the bedroom. We want to have like one of those like California closet companies or whatever come out and redo the whole master bedroom or master closet. And that's kind of like Alex's project. I don't really care so much about all that. And then the bathroom we want redone upstairs and downstairs, and the kitchen cabinetry we want redone. And then the basement, we just want a bathroom put in there, the laundry room closed off, and then like a big open room. So like my cousin she did that to her basement. So I think that's what we're planning on doing to our basement as well. And then, you know, putting a big sectional down there with like a big screen TV or something, so that could just be like where one of us, if Alex is sleeping, I could go down there and watch TV or work on videos or whatnot, which would be a godsend, you know? I mean, I could film videos late at night, or he could go down there while I'm filming videos and just hang out with the dogs or have a friend over, or if we have somebody come and stay. We want to get one of those chairs that turns into like a twin bed from IKEA. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And then we could have like friends stay over and all that kind of stuff if they came. So that would be like, I mean, we have people stay over from time to time, but they always have to sleep on the leather couch, and then we have to, it's always right around here by that cemetery that it goes out of focus. It's so weird, isn't it? So, I mean, we have people stay over from time to time, but like they sleep on the couch, and, you know, it's like we bring out the blankets from the closet and the pillows, and then Boo and Tucker go crazy and they want to sleep on the couch with them all night long, and it just, you know, it just is that. So, there's a motorcycle in front of me. This woman's on the back of her motorcycle. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I want to finish my Charlene Harris book now, so I'm gonna get off here now. But if nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday, and I love you guys so much, and I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Oh, and for those that want to hear it, for those that need to hear it, and if you're just gonna stick around to hear it, then you're gonna hear it. One more, I love you. I can't believe that's become a thing. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!